unmute yourself, please?
Done.
Okay, welcome everybody to UFO Man Live. My name is Tim, or UFO Man. Tonight I have three guests. Coming all the way from Australia, we got GabberBeast TV, who is known as the #1 UFO podcaster in China, almost reaching 2 million subscribers. So please welcome GabberBeast.
G'day everyone. I am the number one foreigner on Bilibili, which is like Chinese YouTube for the UFO alien category in China, and I don't speak a word of Chinese. I'm about to hit 1.9 million. I'm about to hit 2 million views, nearly 10,000 subs. I'm like 8,900 subscribers or something so far.
2 million views is awesome, Gabber. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we also have two intrepid ladies with us this evening. One is my friend Hnoss, coming all the way from Texas, and my new friend Odessa, also in Texas. Please welcome them to the panel from the chat room. And if you're watching online, please stay tuned for what they've got to say. It's going to be an interesting ride. Okay, tonight we're going to do something that is very important to me, and I'm sure it's important to a lot of you. A good friend of mine who I talked with on a regular basis by telephone, and also got the luck to interview him on November 20th, 2021. Calvin Parker recently passed away from stage 5 cancer, and here's his picture, and I would like everyone to have a moment of silence. Rest in peace, Calvin.
Could you perhaps, for the people in our chat room, maybe explain who Calvin was?
Calvin Parker was one of two men, the younger of the two men, that actually experienced an alien abduction along the banks of the Pascagoula River in 1979, where a craft landed, and these beings that looked like the Michelin Man came out and grabbed them, took them inside the ship. They were experimented on. They were released back on the bank. The craft flew away, and there were many witnesses to the fact. In fact, if you're interested in seeing anything about Calvin Parker, we do have a very interesting interview on UFO Man with all the supporting evidence and recordings, even the regressions. So if you're interested, check out Calvin Parker interview on my live streams. Okay. First, we're going to start off with something that was caught by myself and Sightings on 18 Wheels, which was a UFO, or an unknown flying object, which what I want to specify about that is UFO doesn't necessarily mean alien, but what we saw was unknown technology that was making absolutely no sound and flying over the building, and it changed shape 6 times. GabberBeast TV did the analysis on our footage, and after we play this clip, we're going to have him tell you what he thought, along with Hnoss's opinion and Odessa's. Okay, here we go.
I see something really big. Hold on a minute. It's right there.
A plane?
I don't think so. It's right behind the tree. See it? Right there.
I see it now. It's coming. It's a plane.
No, I don't think so. Not the way it's flashing. Staying solid now. See it?
I can see with my eyes right there.
It's not a plane. It's solid. Look at it. It ain't flashing.
Yeah.
That ain't no fucking plane. I see them all the time like that. That's what I'm talking about. I see him like that. We got you.
You stop.
Can you stop?
Stop.
He's speeding up. That is not a plane. I can't see him anymore. I got him. He's right there, see?
Yeah.
Looks like a teardrop now. Oh, I think that was one.
Okay, Gabber, what did you think about that?
I thought it was interesting that it changed shape several times. Your camera picked it up, and your eyewitness report was it changed shape. And I've filmed like UFOs that change shape with my infrared camera, and I see it with my own eyes. And people are like, "Oh, it's just camera artifact, lens exposure," and I'm like, "But I saw it with my eyes."
Yeah, we saw it with our own eyes
when
that night
Because
too.
when it changes shape in the camera, and I got the infrared, I'm on the infrared. I see it change shape. I jump out. I jump out of the viewfinder and I look at it to verify with my eyes, to tell, is it just a camera effect? Is it an artifact? Whatever, light and shadow, whatever. So the fact that you saw it with your eyes change shape and caught it on camera confirms that it's not these errors that people try to claim. Oh yeah, I solved it. I'm the magical fairy solver. I solved everything. I'm like, no, you haven't. You're just throwing names out of a hat. A 12-year-old can do this.
Right. A lot of people are saying interesting, wonder why the shape changed. Gabber actually talked with us. Sightings on 18 Wheels and myself thought we saw an extension of whatever was passing overhead past the light. And because it was making the stars behind it shimmer or blurry, and it looked like it was a larger shape. And Gabber actually drew a line of it. It was kind of like a triangle with a wedge in the back, and as it turned, it may have changed the center light, which changed the shape. Hnoss, what do you think?
I think that it's a craft that's doing its job, right? There's clearly a task that's going on. I know that a lot of people in the audience didn't specifically catch on to the beam that it was sending down, right?
Right.
We did. We look out from behind the tree and comes across. You actually see the illumination on the top of the trees from the beam that's coming off of it. And then when it changes shape after it's gone past and the light is gone, when it changes shape, you see the return of that beam to those trees again.
Right.
So there's a correlation with the alteration of its geometry in order to redirect the beam back over to the trees.
I got to say this: when Sightings and 18 Wheels and myself filmed that, we actually did not see the beam of light on the trees. It was picked up only by this Psionics Aurora Sport full-color night vision camera, and that's what was interesting. But we also visually verified it because Sightings said, "I can see it right there with my eyes," and I looked up, and there it was, and it was moving over. But what we saw with our eyes, at least myself, I can't speak for Sightings, I saw like a white ball of light. Okay, a big one. It was close. We figured probably about 1,000 feet up from the trees. And then Gabber, before I go to you, Odessa, Gabber, didn't you say that Sightings checked with a military officer in regards to the infrared beam?
Correct. And his friend worked at the military, and he showed him the video, and he said, "Oh, that's an infrared beam. I've seen those before in the military." And then he was like, the distance away that craft was, and the beam traveling. He says, like, the military doesn't even have anything that powerful that can shine that far away and light up that strong.
Yeah.
And two, he says the military doesn't have a use for infrared lights, because if you're a helicopter and you're shining an infrared beam for your infrared camera to see stuff, the enemy can see your infrared beam, so now they know where the helicopter is. It doesn't have a military purpose. That's why their cameras are built to absorb all the starlight and use infrared wavelengths without shooting a beam to show its position in the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that very interesting, because like I was going up and down the photo, and like you can see the beam like following it. And it was just like, what was that? Well, I think that thing was scanning U's too. Like, what are you two doing out here in the middle of the night taking photos of the sky? That was scanning U's.
Yeah, they thought there was a possibility that the light, when it cast back onto the trees the second time, actually the third time, because the second time it had a beam that wrapped around one branch. Well, it seemed like it was around one branch. Maybe it was more focused beam, but the third time when it focused back down on the pine trees, it almost seemed like it was trying to shine toward our direction. The only thing is, it didn't get picked up by the camera, other than seeing it on the trees itself.
Right.
So Gabber did a lot of work on the analysis. We do have a 19-minute clip on UFO Man that you can take a look at. I think I have it uploaded as my welcome video to the channel. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, because he can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the object is casting that beam of light on the trees. Gabber, you did a great job. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I was glad to have a look at it and just say what I think. I could be wrong. I don't know. I've watched thousands and thousands of videos. I film UFOs myself. I just offer my opinion. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself. Most people, they'll make a fantasy story about whatever they're showing, and I'm just saying what I think and what I feel from the data that I've analyzed, and
Right.
People can decide for themselves what they think about it if they watch the
Right.
video.
What did you say at the end of the video? You thought it might be the best UFO video of the year?
If it is a UFO,
Yeah.
because we don't know what it is. We're trying to guess.
Right.
We're talking,
Well,
discussing about it, trying to figure it out. People are saying, "Oh, it's a border patrol drone." What's border patrol doing in Minnesota? They're on the border.
it's not a border patrol drone.
What did somebody else say? An LED kite? Who's hanging around, jumping fences, running over tombstones in the graveyard down the bottom, flying a kite? How come we can't see the string? How come it's not moving like a kite moves in wind and atmospherics and humidity? Humidity makes stuff rise, and thermal dynamics of a glider and a kite. There's people pull names out of a hat, going maybe it's this, maybe it's that, without thinking too much. I find
Sometimes if people can't see what they're looking at, it's also makes them unable to make a judgment call. But anyways,
if it's a UFO, maybe human UFO, maybe it's black operation, something out of Dreamland Area 51.
seems a little weird to be over a rural town.
Maybe it's one of our star cousins, some aliens from that live on the Earth with us, flying around, going to work and back. We don't know. The fact that it shoots a beam and lights up the tree backwards and forwards, I've never seen that before. All I've seen is fake ones with like laser beams, fake CGIs and cows, all sorts of different things going on. Like this one, you can tell it's not CGI. It's picked up on a night vision camera that sees in infrared wavelength spectrum. And we've had people that work in the military going, yep, that's what infrared looks like. So, like, I don't know. I've never seen nothing like that. That could be like, if it's a UFO, that could be like UFO video of the year. I've seen nothing better this year.
Odessa, what do you think?
You know, honestly, it's my first time seeing the clip intentionally. So watching it at first, like, oh, that's a satellite. And then it started changing shape and it started shooting a beam down. And I was like, that's an infrared beam. I was in the military. That's an infrared beam. What is it scanning? What is happening? It changed shape again. It's scanning again. I was very interested and I have no explanation. I'm not a skeptic by nature per se. However, I'm not a full believer either because I know there are a lot of fakes out there, like a lot. This
Right.
is not one of those. In my opinion, this is definitely not one of those. It makes me wonder what it saw.
The
Honestly.
only thing we ever heard that night were frogs and crickets. We didn't hear a thing. It was completely silent.
Yeah.
The only reason I noticed it is because it was flickering behind the trees. And the only reason it was flickering is because the leaves
It
were
made me think it
moving.
was a satellite
Mhm.
for a minute.
Yeah, and then sightings
Satellites
thought it was a plane right away because of the way it appeared behind the leaves. And I can understand his viewpoint. It's just when it came out, I knew it was solid, you know,
Yeah.
and there was no way that was a plane. There were no nav lights, nothing.
No.
So, anyways,
The shift in shape and the multiple scans, and that was definitely infrared. There's no question. That definitely is, to me, without further research, obviously not debunkable. There's nothing off the top of my head that I can say that's not real.
Right. Okay. Well, the next video I'm going to bring up is something that's been circulating the internet, and I actually did some research to find out if it was Starlink or something else, and it was definitely filmed below cloud cover, not in low Earth orbit. So let's take a look at it. Here it is.
Hey guys, it's UFO Man. Here's a clip coming out of Mexico at the Popocatépetl volcano dated 8/24/2023 of 18 to 20 cigar UFOs seen exiting the caldera of the volcano. Take a look, make an assessment best you can, and let me know down below in the comments what you think. The objects are not in space, so they cannot be Starlink. They are below cloud cover. There is a darkened area beneath each object, and it appears to be that there might be an energy field around each object. And if you look at the way they're spaced, they almost look like they're in military formation. So could these be ours? Don't know. Most likely not, because they're exiting a superheated caldera at a super high fast pace. Now in this video clip I have slowed it down by 4. I have zoomed in ×5 so you can get a better look, and I have enhanced it with a colored filter. If you like the video, hit that like button and subscribe, and please remember to share us out to your social media platforms. Also, please reset your notifications.
I don't need you to hear all that stuff. Anyways, the stuff coming out of that, everybody was saying it was Starlink. And the problem with that is it was filmed at a much lower elevation, below cloud cover. Otherwise, you wouldn't see the clouds behind it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Hnoss?
Well, the Starlinks themselves, the individual satellites, don't leave trails; they're dots, right? It's
Right.
like Pac-Man dots in the air behind each other. And you know, there's clearly the long cylindrical shape to them. You can actually see shadowing on the underside of each of them as well, right? Giving you that indication that there is illumination from above happening with them. Probably, you know, getting into the atmosphere and catching what was left of the sunset from above the horizon. But I also noticed it looked like for most of them, as they were coming out, it was coming out in groups of threes, right? Where there would be an elevated, a lower, and an elevated, a lower, and an elevated. Kind of like they're using, kind of like railgun launchers to send 3 out in sequence, as a launch platform.
Right.
Just be firing them out there, getting the early launch so that they can get out of the ugly zone.
Yeah.
Because Caldera's not great for takeoff turbulence.
Yeah, I found out that the caldera in the center can actually reach 1,832 degrees Fahrenheit. And we don't have any conventional craft that can survive that amount of temperature through a lava tube.
Right.
Our craft doesn't have any type of field to where it can protect the people inside and the materials that it's made out of. Gabber?
People are saying it's Starlink,
I know, but it's not.
but you can go backwards in time and see everywhere where Starlink is everywhere. You just got to
Right.
go to like Stellarium, go to the volcano, put that date and time in, line it up at the right angle, and you can see where all the Starlinks are. It's like
There is Starlink going over.
There is Starlink going over
Right,
at that time, but they're like Starlink would be a dot.
right.
They're like long cigar shapes. That's like a fleet
Right.
of cigar shapes.
Exactly.
And someone would have already debunked it by lining up the Starlink map with the volcano and going, oh, look, you can see these Starlinks at exactly the same time and angle. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the thing I
they
was
look
gonna
like
say-
cigars to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Well, and also there are so many videos on YouTube of showing the Starlink chains where you can see they're all dots.
Right.
And the lazy jump to calling it Starlink just because it's a bunch of things that are in a row in the sky, it's not the right shape.
Right.
There are 1,000 videos on YouTube now with the Starlink dots of the chains up. So it's like if they can't even Google Starlink once to see what they look like before saying it's Starlink, then they're not seriously a part of the conversation.
Right. What did you think,
Starlink
Odessa?
has a pattern. Oh, sorry, Vodning. Starlink has a pattern, and they have to be minimum distance away from each other. There's a minimum distance to avoid collision, and all the Starlinks I've seen they're in certain patterns and certain lines, and they're all equal distances apart because they've got anti-collision. Oh, we're getting too close, go back. We're getting too far, go forward. They're all always constantly moving and staying in between that safety zone. There's a certain distance they cannot move closer to or further apart.
Right.
And it just doesn't match Starlink patterns that I've seen. Odessa, what do you think about it? How do you feel about it?
Tim, and thanks, Gabber. I have nothing to add. Y'all covered everything I was thinking while I was watching it. And again, so that everyone else knows, everything we're watching, I am just being exposed to, just like you. So my opinion is, yeah, I thought exactly the same thing. So my questions were the same. My debunking was the same. I'm like, okay, this is exactly what's going on. There's no question in my mind that this is not Starlink. There's no question in my mind this is exiting the caldera of this volcano, and there's no question in my mind what's happening here.
Right. Exactly.
I have nothing else to add. I really don't.
So to all those people out there that thinks it's Starlink, the UFO Man channel and panel disagree with you. But then again, you're entitled to your own opinion. So we got next one here I want to play. This is a daylight sighting of a black sphere over England, Suffolk, England. Check this out.
Hey guys, it's UFO Man. Here's a clip coming out of England dated May 28th, 2023 of a black orb-shaped object that is dancing around in the sky. See how it's making sharp maneuvers. And then all of a sudden it will accelerate at high speed, frame right, behind some trees. Check it out. Make an assessment. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is a UAP or do you think this might be a drone? There was no sound noted at all, and there were 3 witnesses. It was traveling toward the northwest against a steady breeze of 10 miles an hour. Take a look, make an assessment, let me know what you think. Coming up are 3 still shots. If you like the video, hit that like button and subscribe, and remember to share us out to your social media platforms. And as always, thank you for watching.
Well,
So what do you think of that? Now, what I want to mention about that is as it's starting frame right, the object blinks out a couple of times.
I did notice that.
Did you notice that? Yeah.
I did notice that. I thought, well, is that a cloud? But there's no cloud there. And I thought, well, it's round. No, it's not round. It's square. No, it's not square. It's a roundish square. It's moving like a balloon caught in a wind, but it's not moving like a balloon caught in a wind. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
accelerating, so it
Like
could
a-
be a balloon.
Like a
could
hexagon.
still
Like a
technically
hexagon.
Be a balloon?
Mhm.
Like the piece of my mind that is a skeptic says that could still be a balloon if there was a random gust way the hell up there in the atmosphere. But how possible is that, knowing what I know about weather? It's really not actually. Go ahead.
It
Right.
could not be a balloon because it was moving against a 10-mile-an-hour wind.
Correct.
If it
Like
was
I
a
said.
balloon, it'd be moving with it.
Correct. Absolutely
Anyways,
correct.
Gabber,
Thank
go
you for
on.
clarifying. Go ahead, Gabber.
You're looking at the still shots is a hexagon, hexagony type of shape.
Right.
I get I film a lot of orbs, and a lot of them are this like pentagon, hexagon type of shape. And one time, I was actually doing it while I was recording. I think I was like analyzing my film and then like doing still shots and putting them in the photo app, in the paint app, and then like changing the filters, flipping the colors around, trying to look inside the bright light if I can see the shape of the object. And what I noticed and then remembered that one of the Navy pilots in an interview I read on the news said they were witnessing cubes inside a inside a circle, square cubes inside a circle flying around, and many pilots were seeing them. And I started drawing a cube inside what I filmed, and then I noticed when I draw the cube inside the pentagon shape, that pentagon or hexagon shape fits exactly the outer edges of the cube, if geometrically. And I was like, hang on a sec, maybe this is a cube inside a circle, and the hexagon shape we are seeing is just the cube inside the circle, the outer sides. Something I
Right.
noticed that I was like, wow, maybe I'm filming the same cube in a circle, but it looks like a hexagon outer hexagon shape to me, because the outer hexagon shape perfectly matches a cube inside a circle of the outer edges. It like lined up perfectly when I was like researching it, trying to see inside the light to see what shape I get. Because I get different shapes. I get squares, I get pentagrams, I get hexagons, I get triangles. I get triangles with swept backs. I get all sorts of different things. A lot of the most common shape I get is that pentagon type of shape. And I was thinking maybe what these pilots are seeing in the US, the cube inside a sphere
Right,
matches the
clear
hexagon
bubble.
shape that I'm filming. Maybe we're filming and seeing the same thing. That was just something I noticed just researching my own. I think I actually did a video on it. I've got a video of it somewhere. God knows where it is. Yeah.
It is possible for sure.
Mm.
Yeah, military pilots are seeing them all the time, according
yeah.
to
But I matched
that
it
one
geometrically. I
pilot.
matched it geometrically, which spun me out. It spun me out. I was like, what?
Okay, everybody in the chat is saying, Suspicious Skies 3045 said, I have seen a video where a guy found a piece of glass that exposes them and it looks similar in shape. So that's very interesting to me. Now, what I want to do is play a very interesting clip. This is live spotted over Jalisco, Mexico, and it was filmed from 3 different vantage points, 3 different cameras. Check this out.
A la verga, güey. Oh mames, esa madre está perricísima, güey. Mira, güey. Ya se apagó, güey, a la verga. Ah, apenas se iba a grabar, güey. Sí existen los ovnis.
Hey guys, it's UFO Man. Here's a clip of some objects over Jalisco, Mexico, dated September 7th, 2022. Filmed from 3 separate vantage points. Take a look, make an assessment, and let me know what you think. If you like the video, hit that like button and subscribe. And remember to share us out to your social media platforms. And as always, thank you for watching.
A la verga, güey. Oh mames, esa madre está perricísima, güey. Mira, güey. Ya se apagó, güey, a la verga. Ah, apenas se iba a grabar, güey. Sí existen los ovnis.
Okay, I have to say something about that. I pronounced Jalisco wrong. It's silent. I apologize to everybody. In regards to the footage, to me it looked like it was rotating, not flashing. It was turning. I don't know what it was, but it doesn't look like anything that we have. I've never seen a drone do that big, unless it's exotic technology from the US or someone else. I just don't know. What do you think, Odessa?
You know, honestly, I've never seen anything like that. It definitely looked to me like it was rotating on an axis. And I have no idea what the hell I just saw.
Right.
Honestly, I don't know what that is. I can say that I've never seen it before. I can say it's possible that it could have been flashing in sequence. However, based on the way it rotated out, and I say that because it was like, I don't know how to do this without a visual, like soft, heavier, and then soft, and it just stopped. Like it was moving and it was gone. And
Right.
Zoomed out to try to find it, zoomed in, couldn't find it. Was like, hey, I just filmed that. Good job, dude. I have no idea what I just saw. I've seen a lot of footage in the past and nothing like that. Nothing like that.
What do you think, Hnoss?
Yeah, the frequency of the rotation, as far as the spacing of the lights that happens, is what lets you know that it's rotating. Because anything moving on an arc, you have that Doppler shift. with the relation to the distance between the items. So, if the lights are closer together on the left and they move across and they're further apart, and then they're closer together again when they come out the other side, which is the only way that you can really distinguish that it's not just them seeing a road with traffic driving on it where there's a break in the trees letting you see this little bit of traffic, right?
Right.
Because if it was just cars driving past this opening in the trees, the lights would be staying the same distance from each other with each pair as they go by, instead of being closer, getting further apart, and then getting closer again. That only happens with rotation. So how far this thing was away, if someone wanted to fake it with a drone, they would need a drone that's as long as a semi-truck.
Right. So that's why I was leaning toward the idea of being it some other option. What do you think, Gabber?
I found this very interesting because I made a video and compared it to other videos in China, because it does the same thing what the UFOs in China were doing. Those lights that are rotating, and then the last light disappears and another light takes its place. Like, it's rotating and moving, and that might be just simply its propulsion system, a strange exotic propulsion system that we don't even understand yet because our physics doesn't explain it. But the Chinese, the ones in China, are doing the same thing. There was a UFO in China in around February 12th near the Qingdao port that someone filmed, but they were orange lights. The only difference was it was doing the same rotation, same light disappearing at the end, new light taking its place, but they were orange lights. And actually this made national Chinese news. It was in the near Port Rizhao Sea, near the Qingdao port. The Chinese officials sent SMS messages to all the fishermen: clear the port near Qingdao, clear the port because of the UFO. We're going to shoot down the UFO and prepare for salvage operations to pick up the debris.
Wow.
So this, like, you can see the SMS messages the fishermen got. They're showing their phone and stuff. It was officially on Chinese news, and like I'm guessing never heard nothing about it. I'm guessing the Chinese Air Force didn't get to shoot it down, so like they took off. Then another UFO. I was looking for UFO videos on the 2010, the most famous UFO incident in China, 2010 Jioshan airport incident, where everyone knows the fake UFO, where they got the UFO and the green beam, CGI green beam coming down. Well, people make fake CGI videos when UFO events occur. Anyway, that's the fake one. But I looked through Chinese social media. I must have read and translated about 5,000 Chinese comments to the videos. I found 4 or 5 videos still remaining because all the videos got deleted off Chinese web. The very next day, everything got deleted off the Chinese web. They didn't want people knowing about the most famous Chinese UFO event, because it shut down the airport, Jioshan airport, for 4 hours. I was reading reports where people were at the airport. They said, we saw the UFO at the airport. The airport got evacuated. Everyone's running and screaming from the airport. I saw my friend filming the UFO through the glass of the airport window with everyone screaming and running. And like, I found 4 or 5 videos claiming to be the Jioshan airport incident. I shared it with my fans. I read the comments of other people who eyewitnessed it. Thousands of people saw it. I've got videos from like all the way across town, across the river, all different angles, and it's all doing the same thing. These orange lights that are rotating with the last light disappearing and a new light taking its place.
So a lot like the one we just showed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just different color. Does exactly the same thing, different color, in multiple different UFO incidents in China in different years apart, like 10, 13 years ago. And then just beginning of this year in February, and I think I might have found 1 or 2 others that like very similar, but different, like recent like this year. but in
Well,
China also.
I've got to say that orange lights or orange spheres have been quite common the last 2 summers for me where I live in Minnesota. I've been seeing them almost every night when the sky is clear. So usually down by the bottom of the Big Dipper, and that's where Sightings on 18 Wheels and I usually look, or where Sightings is filming every night that he can. And I appreciate his footage. He has a lot of good footage. If you get a chance, go to Sightings on 18 Wheels on YouTube and subscribe to his channel. Also subscribe to GabberBeast TV, Billy, and I will put the links underneath the live stream when it posts to YouTube. What I want to say is, Hnoss, what did you think about the UFO footage that we've shown so far? Do you think it's credible?
Yeah, absolutely. From experience and basic analysis, and I know you and me have talked about it a lot before. And the things that you're looking for when it comes to identifying a UFO is ruling out what it can't be. That's
Right,
what the
exactly.
definition of a UFO is. So, you know,
Exactly.
when you look at the behaviors and you look at the things that are known that are capable of replicating those behaviors, and it's outside of the parameters for all the known things that can do it, by definition, it's a UFO.
Right. Okay. Well, I do have one that I have questions about that I posted today. It's not getting much play, but I think people are thinking it's something else. But I would really like you to take a look at it. This is the last UFO clip pertaining to just UFOs. And then we're going to segue into our lunar anomaly set. I can't talk. Section. Here we go. Oh, thought we were. I'm having
You got
trouble.
this. You got-
Hey guys, it's UFO Man. Here's a clip coming out of Niagara, New York, of a strange mass over the city. It appears to be amber in color or orange with several yellow lights, approximately 6 or 7 yellow lights. They do not appear to drop or fall like a flare would. So the duration of this object was 5 minutes before it blinked out. Take a look, make an assessment, let me know what you think. I'm leaning toward the possibility that it is definitely some type of unknown flying object or UFO. So if you like the video, hit that like button and subscribe. Remember to share us out to your social media platforms. And as always, thank you for watching. Coming up are several still shots so you can get a better look.
Okay, I have no clue what that is because if it remained in place for 5 minutes,
Wow.
right, and it wasn't moving, it wasn't dropping, it was shimmering, but it wasn't dropping. And if it wasn't a reflection on that window, then what the heck was it?
Right.
Hnoss.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, please.
So, like one of the things that you look at is something that could give a similar impression would be like if you tied a bunch of Chinese lanterns together and released them at once, right?
Right.
You'd kind of get that cluster, but like where you have the zoom in and you're looking at the concentrations of color that are happening there,
Right.
you would have dark sections. You know, not the change to the darker orange, but you would have dark sections that would take on shadow from the framing and the housing and all the other stuff that the lanterns have with them.
Right.
And you're not getting that here. You would have dark undersections from the shadowing underneath instead of radiating all the way around.
Right.
And that's what tells you there's something weird going on here. But kind of when I'm looking at that, what I'm thinking about is a cluster of frogs' eggs.
Yes. Oh my God. That's
Okay.
exactly what I was
So
thinking.
before they become polywogs, you got that gel with all the little
Yeah.
frog legs in it, that cluster. It's just like that. And
Right.
this may very well be something that is just the catching of a birthing process.
Of something in the sky. Yeah.
Mhm.
What I
Yeah,
was going to
I'm hoping
say.
it's time for the sky jellies.
Sky jelly. That sounds lovely.
Yeah, what I was going to say is that I even ruled out flares because I've seen flares in the military dispersed by planes. I've seen parachute flares. I've seen all kinds of flares. And these things aren't moving, they're not dropping, they're just staying put in a cluster. I have no clue what it is. I wasn't there, so I can't definitively say anything other than my opinion and my objective opinion based on ruling out other options. It's something unknown. I can't say it is alien in nature, but I'm going to say it's unknown. What do you think, Gabber?
He's filming through a glass. You can see the
Yes.
reflection of the glass when he zooms out, so that can cause reflection, refraction,
Right.
different distortions in the picture. Also, they could be doing the Pepper's ghost trick, the magician's trick, where he has a light source anywhere in behind him, and and that reflection of the light source is in the window, and he just zooms in to that. So like when you're looking at UFO videos filmed through a glass window, it's hard to like figure it out because of that Pepper's ghost trick.
Right. The only thing I was thinking is when he zoomed in, it was way far away. You couldn't even see it out the window.
But he could have sat there all day, positioned the light at the point in the glass so that the you can see the glass reflection in the glass, and then he just zooms into that picture of the glass, sort of like. I'm always wary of anything shot through a glass. I've
Right,
never
same
seen
here.
anything like that. Like Chinese lanterns, like Hnoss said, Chinese lanterns, moving together in the wind could be possible. But it did sit there for 5 minutes, but it didn't seem very windy. But Chinese lanterns is a possibility. I'm just thinking possibilities. I have no idea really what it is. I've never seen anything to compare it to.
Well, one thing I'm going to mention is back when I had my UFO sighting in 2009, I saw objects with that color. Okay, but it looked like living fire on the inside, not so much like those little dots. But what I'm going to say to you is it was about the same color and it was about the same size. But the problem is our objects were rectangular in a horizontal position with rounded edges. But this one is not. This one's vertical. So I don't know what that is either. What do you think, Odessa?
Honestly, I've been throwing my opinions out in chat, but I will state for the record that it looked very much to me like 8, possibly 9 different sources of light in the sky, creating a field between them. Hnoss's impression that might be some sort of reproductive situation, a birthing situation, would hold with that, but also Gabber's opinion would hold. So
Yes.
I really am unsure. I'm unsure,
Yes.
but that makes me want to watch it like 20 more times. So
I'm unsure as well. And the thing is, the problem with UFO video footage is every time you watch it, you get a new viewpoint. It's
exactly.
just the way it is. There is no way to definitively prove, even if you have a paper trail or data from other people. It's whether you've been there and what you experience is your own unique situation, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, your eyes and your mind give you a particular perspective that cannot be questioned or changed by someone else, and that is your own.
Right.
That's how that works.
Okay, well, let's go around and see if we have any last comments on UFOs, because I really want to get into our next segment, which is the moon. And we got a lot of lunar anomaly overlays that we're going to show you, and when I put up the overlays, it'll cover us all up, but you can still talk and people can still hear you. So, okay, before we do that, we have a video to play. Here we go. Alrighty, let's move on into the lunar anomaly section, and we are going to start off with GabberBeast making a comment about his lunar research. Gabber?
I take photographs of the moon and tens and tens of thousands of photos in the last 3 years, almost 3 years now, getting to the end of this year. Another month or two, it'll be 3 years. I've been taking tens of thousands of photos of the moon, and the logistics in just analyzing the photographs do not ask. Like if I have to find a photo that I found something interesting, it takes me days to just find the photo, just to show it and share it. I get lots of weird geometric shapes on the moon. I've been interviewed on Bruce's All channel, another astronomer he's got a 14-inch telescope, so he gets in closer to the moon. And he's interviewed me 2 or 3 times now. We've compared work, and because the moon's upside down in Australia, he's in Canada, America, the moon's, the other way around. I was like, the photos I get of these weird, geometric shapes, sometimes arranged haphazardly in these Lego blocks, but they're geometrically, so they're not like the curves of the edges of a crater from a meteor impact. I'm getting the same photos he's getting, and it looks very similar. And because I'm upside down, if you turn my photo upside down and then look at his photo, it sort of like matches it from different viewing angles. I'm viewing it from a different angle upside down, but I'm getting the similar results. So my work's like confirming his work. A lot of people don't like him. They think he's full of BS, but like other researchers are getting the same photographs he's getting. So it all can't be moon mirages if someone else's work is confirming his, is like, well, that's not a moon mirage. Oh no, it's artifacts in your camera error. We can't possibly two people getting the same camera errors or camera artifacts. So that throws those theories out the window. What's on the moon? We can speculate. We can try and guess. People will laugh or make fun of us because of our speculations, but at least we're having a go trying to figure out what it might possibly be, instead of sitting there laughing at people trying to figure it out. You know?
Right. All right, let's take a comment from Hnoss. What do you want to say, your introduction about the moon?
Before you do that, I'm going to be rude. I'm going to be totally rude because I have 2 comments in chat. Take it away. Take it away. 2 comments in chat. And I'm going to take them out of order. And I hope in brief, Gabber, there was an optical illusion where there was a city in the clouds over China. In brief, do you want to address that, or is that not relevant?
The optical illusion. You got people like making like holographic projection machines and like shooting, like they did something in the Middle East where they put a second moon or a second sun and projected it into the sky. There's people doing like different effects.
Right.
And they're like advertisements for companies, but they're not saying what it is. They're just trying to get like views and make things go viral by making these projections in the sky.
And the second thing I have to ask you about comes from Sighting on 18 Wheels. He told me to ask you about the China Sky Train. Now, in brief, before Hnoss introduces her perception of the moon, and that's how I want to refrain that. That's it. But the China Sky Train, what is that about?
China Sky Train.
Is that relevant for today?
Yeah, like Wheels has been filming his Sky Train over in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And I've found videos and shared them and compared the two and asked my viewers, what do you think? Because the same type of sky train is being filmed in China all this year. Since about March, they've been filming sky trains just like flying across their cities, actually flying across their cities. And the sky trains worldwide, like South America, Europe, America, you can actually follow the sky train crossing state to state. The next night it'll be in the next state. The next night it'll be in the next state. And
has anyone compiled that footage to where we could maybe put a link where the audience could watch
Wheels has a sky train compilation. It goes on for about 20
Wheels
minutes.
needs to post that in the chat.
Yeah, Wheels needs to post a link for that video. And I've compared the two, and it looks very similar. The long cigar shape of light. And I put it out there, please, if you were in this city in China and you saw the sky train, can you please write down in the description what you saw so we can compare it to Wheels' sighting, because the light beam is half the sighting. There's like an upside down T. It's like a long rectangular train, which is in the shape of an upside down T, and then it's got like 6 or 7 square ports. And where the square ports or windows are is like where the light is, and that's all you're seeing is the light beam, like light cigar shape.
Right.
And then there's all there's these people like JP's going on about this story for the last 2 years about space arcs being found all around the Earth. One at the bottom of the Bermuda Triangle off the coast of Florida under the Atlantic Ocean. One in Russia, one in Ukraine in the Valensky Sands Desert. Then there's another one in the jungles of Brazil and South America. Another one claimed to be under the Sphinx in Egypt. Another one under Lake Vostok in Antarctica. And one just got found the story came out this week that China got one inside the Devil's Triangle south of Tokyo, in the Pacific Ocean. And like they've only gotten into, they claim that the Chinese Space Force has only gotten 35% inside and they can't get any further. The force fields that are that are built in as a security device. You need like a special DNA. You got to have special starseed type of DNA to access the access through the force fields, and you have to have good intentions for the technology inside, or you actually just die trying to go through the force field. I don't even want to think. I don't want to even think how many Chinese Space Force personnel have died trying to get through that force field until they figured out. But now the Chinese Space Force is like, hey,
Thank you,
U.S.
Gabber.
Space Force, you got the right guys that can help us with the right DNA to explore this alien technology further. We need to work together, Chinese Space Force and US Space Force, because they've already done this previously, because the Chinese Space Force said they found the first space ark on the moon, which was the Mystery Hut. And I'll finish up now, and we might be thinking that this Sky Train might be one of these space arks that are powering on, activating, they're all connecting, they're all sending a signal to the Galactic Federation that's supposed to be in orbit of Jupiter doing their galactic stuff, because the Space Force can measure where the signals are going, sending a signal back, and we think they're saying, oh, they're activating, turning on, which can be all measured with satellites from gravitational field around it, magnetic field. We thought maybe one of these Sky Trains is one of these space arks that's already activated, got its crew back from hypersleep, and it's just flying around going, hey, we're here, what are you doing? Check it out. Just a theory me and Wheels were thinking about that might need more research.
Thanks, Gabber.
You were gonna say,
before we go
Tibbs?
back to Hnoss, really quick before we go back to Hnoss, Tim had something to say.
Yeah, I was going to say that the SkyTrain, as sightings is credited for naming, actually has been seen at East City Ranch.
Yep, I saw that video.
By Mount
I saw that
Hood,
video.
and I did a comparison on my channel of Wheels' video and the one at ECETI, and I put them side by side so you could see them, and they actually have the same notched back end where it looks like a little orb at the back with a notch, a black notch, and then the straight line. Sighting said he saw more of the vehicle when he was looking at it, but his camera didn't pick it up, which is a shame. And we're still hoping that he will catch it with his Cyanix Aurora, soon to come Pro camera, which would be great. Since we're I want to ask you something, Gabber, about that craft that was allegedly found on the backside of the moon. I have always thought that wasn't real.
The Mystery Hut that the Chinese moon rover Yukon 2 found?
No, not that. The long cigar-shaped craft.
Where they say they found the princess alien inside and brought it back.
Yeah, I think that's a bunch of hooey. What do you think?
Hooey?
Yeah, hooey. Sorry.
How do you prove something like that? We got a video. If it's a hoax, it's a very elaborate hoax because they had to make the inside of the space capsule and make an alien. And if it's not a hoax, how did that leak from the NASA files? But we do get a lot of NASA leaks. You look at a lot of the NASA. You look at all the astronauts all say every space mission we went on, we got followed by UFOs, sometimes for days, from reports from the astronauts. You look at some of the leak photos, it's not ice crystals. You can see balls of light and geometric shaped ships following them, and which confirms the astronauts' report saying, yeah, we got followed. People try to say, oh, the astronauts get cosmic rays of light, which makes them see a flash of light. Nah, these are astronauts. They know what they see. They get trained to pick up on details and stuff. They go through vigorous training. I don't think they're just seeing cosmic rays.
So you do believe what was found in the back side of the moon, the large cigar-shaped craft, was real?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's hard. It's hard to analyze it and show evidence to prove it. Proving stuff in UFOlogy is like It's
Yeah,
never going to
it's like
happen. It's never going to happen.
proving the existence of a human religious figure.
Everyone's running around. Everyone's running around going, I want proof. I want proof. Grosh, David Grosh, where's your 100% proof? Where's the smoking gun proof? You're not going to get it. It's classified. He only showed the Inspector General. So everyone wants 100% smoking gun proof. And whenever somebody has had a piece of alien material from a craft or evidence that an alien landed, something happened, they got evidence. All evidence is locked in a military Air Force base with it filed away. It's got a number, case number, locked in a cupboard. You can't get there. Everything has been taken away from us for the last 100 years or so that they've been collecting all this because they don't want us to know that aliens exist. So they have to make sure they get rid of all the evidence. So like people are looking for something that it's there, but it's locked away. You don't have access to it.
Right.
Right, exactly. Okay, in regards to some more pictures here that we have some anomalies that are famous and other ones that are not so famous. What we're going to start with first are the ones that Gabber actually photographed himself. We have a few of his shots. And
These are only a couple days old. Like this is like 2-3 days ago, and I just like took some photos and I saw something odd and shared it with you. The stuff I've got over years of collecting, we'll show it after the really good stuff. But this is just a little taste of when I just took some photos a couple of days ago and just saw some weird stuff. Oh, that one's an old one. Yeah, that one. Good luck explaining that one.
Right.
looks like an alien face. A gray.
Like I got multiple photographs of that one. That one, the triangle at the top in the top of the crater. I don't know what that one is. That one's where the little arrow is. There's like a little, it's like an Asian battle mech type of shuttle thing. There's just like floating there. That's not sitting on the surface. It's got like two little wings on the side. That I don't know what that is. Like it's a weird. It's like a square rectangle with like some things on top. Some I don't know, some structures on top maybe. Storage containers. I don't know.
What do you think, Hnoss?
That looks a lot like a pyrite formation.
I agree. I'm a rock hound from way back. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so pyrite is one of the metals that when it's going through the cooling process, if you don't cool it too fast, it actually takes on a crystalline structure. So like you see at the south end of that, you actually have a six-sided shape just above the bottom there.
Yeah. And
when you look up at the top, what kind of looks like the face of a keyhole being like the face that's shearing off the upper edge of that.
Yeah.
So
that could be just pyrite cooling.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So,
That's very interesting.
So it looks like the crystalline metal form shape on the top of the moon. You can see the corners jutting out in different spots.
Yeah.
Okay, I see you caught this too. Come on.
what is that? Help me out, Gabber.
That one, I got the photo loaded up, and like I can show you. I got a photo sequence of that I can show if I share my screen, and I've made a video about that. How do I describe that? So I sort of have to describe it while showing the photo. You want me to share the screen?
Sure.
I'll share the screen. Hang on a sec. Because I haven't got. It's a hard one to explain. That one is that sharing screen.
No.
Share screen. Share screen. All right. Allow. So that one. Let me open the folder. So this is the sequence of photos here, right? I took that at like 21. What we have there is, do you see where it is on the side of the moon here?
Yes.
Zoom out.
Yes.
Now, we zoom in. It's like
Huge.
it's huge. It's geometric and it's above the surface. So like, we can grab it, and I throw it into paint real quickly. And we wanna flip it around. So I'll just grab the corner. We'll put it right side up. It's easier to see.
Wow.
And when I ran the curves through it to have a look if I can see inside the light, we do it quickly. When I was doing the curves on it, I found that the shape it was forming was like that. This here, see this shape here? I'll try and make it pop off. Try and make it pop off a bit.
It looks very much like an insect face, like something with
this shape we have here. I filmed this on the moon previously, like 3 or 6 months before, on a different part of the moon. I can show that. So here's the video. Videos on my YouTube if people want to see it. So like, that's the picture. I show the picture. We zoom in, and then I start playing with the curves. I show that like
it's not the
this
same
shape.
picture?
It's the same. This is the same picture we're dealing with, and then when I get the curves going, this shape I filmed here. This photograph here is on a different part of the moon, but it has that same shape. If you can see it.
Yeah, it's off to the right.
And it's inside the red square there, and it's got like this tube that comes down at a 90-degree angle that's going into the crater, and you can see here it's above the surface. It's above the crater here. Someone tried to tell me it's just a moon mountain, and I'm like, how come it's in a different part of the moon? And then I've got a video of it. So like I showed different photos of it. I took like 30 photos of it, and then I showed different stuff about it. And then right at the end here, I showed the video of it. There it is there. And then the video should kick in if we press play. Might help. There, that's the video of it. See? You can even see in the video how it's floating. Rewind it again. There it is there.
It's similar to the shapes around it. Topography.
And and it's got, I don't know how to explain that. To me, it looks like it's floating above the surface. And then
very well camouflaged.
Yeah, and if we look at the photograph that I just shared, right? This is where it is here on the left-hand side, whereas that video is up here. So the moon could not. Where I'm filming it is around about here where my mouse is. So the moon couldn't have twisted 90 degrees. The moon does not twist. Because if you look at the moon, when the moon goes past us, it rotates, but it also twists slightly left, slightly right, slightly up, and slightly down. And when the moon twists like this, we see 10% of the dark side of the moon up the top that we don't normally see. And when the moon twists to like this side, the left, we see like the 10% of the dark side of the moon that we don't normally see. And for it to twist these as it's moving around the Earth, it takes up to 3 up to 6 months to twist to one side. Yeah. But it doesn't twist 90 degrees.
No.
And where this is, you can clearly see it's above the surface of the moon. This is a full moon. This is a full moon. So
what's
like
that perfect rectangle to the right of where your mouse was? What was that perfect rectangle? You see it?
This here. That could just be just like pixelation of something. It could be something, I don't know. Hard to tell.
Okay.
Hard to
Sorry,
tell.
but my brain just pointed that out because it's a pattern.
I see stuff like that. A lot of it's just pixelation or light and shadow or atmospherics and humidity.
I'll take that for now.
Yeah, but
Thank you, Gabber.
what's interesting is in the sequence of photos, here's the next sequence. We go to this area. Where did it go? Do you see what I mean? That's a 5 seconds. I'm pretty sure it's a 5-second sequence. There it is there. It's just above this crater. So we go to the next photo. We go just above this crater.
And it's
it disappeared.
Gone.
It disappeared, and in its place, you can't see it inverse, but if we sharpen it a bit, there's a triangle here, and then there's 2 other little things here in its place. So like,
wow.
And then the
It's
next,
like it was releasing scouts or
yeah,
something.
and then the next sequence in the photo, which might be 10 seconds later,
Oh, wow.
we're above this crater here. We got this large triangle that I thought maybe when I
Much
look
larger.
when I look at this triangle,
It's
I'll just
also
quickly
big.
I'll quickly explain it in paint. When I look at this triangle, right, when I ran the filters on it, I thought maybe it's like a TR3B or something. I don't know, because when I ran the filters with it, when we look at it, it looks like a large diamond shape. But when you run the filters with it, it's actually a triangle shape. And these white lights are at like each corner of the triangle, which is like the
A
TR3B.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's got the 3 lights in each corner when I ran the filters with it. So I thought maybe it's a TR3B, like it's kind of upside down. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm only guessing because there's 3 lights in each corner of the triangle. But like it changed in the matter of 10, 15 seconds in the sequence of photos to 3 different things. And I got a video of it. So like here's pictures of it on a 90-degree angle on the top of the moon. Like you can see here, it's on the top of the moon. It's in a totally different place.
Right.
And
Wow.
why it's moved, I don't know. Why does it have a pipe coming down at a 90-degree angle that's going into a crater? Maybe it's refueling. Maybe it's fueling the fueling station. Maybe it's dropping off or collecting supplies, and that's like a cargo transport little tube.
A lot of maybes
Or
there. But there's
maybe
definitely some anomalous activity. There's anomalous visual that I'm seeing that I cannot explain.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting, that one.
Very.
Okay, I have one to back up that one. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
That's
gonna
amazing.
just pause your video.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna put a
You go
picture
for it.
overlay over it. This one. This was found over the lunar surface. It was not on the top of the moon. It was over it. Check that out. Okay, what do y'all think? Now, I know Hnoss thinks it's a Starship Voyager.
No, it looks like the saucer section from the Enterprise D.
It does look that way. That doesn't mean that's what she thinks it is.
Yeah. But yeah,
Can I just take a half a second to thank Gabber for sharing that, because that was eye-opening. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Thank
it was
you.
Great.
Maybe it's just like some people say, a meteor hitting the moon, causing dust, sun reflecting off the dust, causing an illusion. Where's the dust cloud then? I see no dust cloud here. Do you see a dust cloud?
No.
There would have to be a dust cloud to make a projection type of screen for the sun to project a mirage. But like, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what it is. No idea. But like for it to move
dust clouds,
from here up to here.
An impact with the moon. We're talking about an impact with the moon, and you have to talk about what the moon is, the formation of the moon. So maybe we should cover a little bit about the moon, like not just the anomalies.
Well, that's probably gonna be a part 2. To be honest
Part
with you.
2.
Yeah, definitely.
We have a lot of overlays to go through now. Gabber, I wanted to ask you about this.
Yeah.
That's on the moon.
That's on the moon?
Yes.
It's a strange one. It's like triangular shaped. Then it has like these lights in triangular shape. What's the possibility of 7 or 8 rocks like being in a triangle formation sitting on the moon reflecting light? That's like a really low probability.
Right. Unless it's like I was talking to Hnoss earlier, it might be some type of mineral deposit that when it turns a certain direction, it reflects the light.
It could be like there could be like ice coming out, or ice crystals, or some sort of crystalline structures reflecting light. It's a very strong possibility.
Okay, what is this in the crevasse that you're showing us?
This I noticed a diamond shape. This diamond shape, just sitting in the crater, like this is the Terminator line. The Terminator line is where dark meets light on the moon, and obviously dark side, light side. And what you find is when you look at the Terminator line, you start to find strange shapes sitting in the shadows. This, I don't know if this could just be like a large diamond-shaped rock, but like if it's a large diamond-shaped rock, then I should be able to see that when the light, when it's a full moon, you should be able to see that. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was odd, something odd, like a diamond shape sitting inside a crater.
Kind of looks like a shark's tooth to me.
Yeah, like a shark's tooth.
Yeah.
Might be nothing at all. I just thought it was very odd.
Very cool. I got a picture.
What am I
This is
looking
on the
at?
moon.
I think that one might be Copernicus crater.
Yes.
It looks like a lot of buildings stuck together.
It does. It looks like a civilization in the Mayan culture.
Like an old, like an ancient civilization, or
Very
like a new civilization wouldn't just be like put together like that. It's like something maybe someone put there 10,000, 100,000 years ago, lived there for a bit, and then moved on, and now it's just crumbling and in ruins.
Right.
It's fascinating.
Go ahead with your next picture there. There you go.
This is a picture of the moon. So the moon continues on up here. That's the Terminator line. And this was out of place
What is
and
that?
really bright. Like,
Yeah.
I really don't know. It's got like a geometric sort of shape to it. I don't know if it's like a rock on top of a mountain. Like the place for it to be, the moon is like sort of borderline, and there could be like a mountain there. Maybe there's like a rock, but then it's in a weird place. We don't see any other rocks being lit by the sun.
No, it's odd.
And it's got a strange sort of geometric shape to it, just something odd that I noticed. We zoom
sure.
back a bit. It's really out of place. It's really right on the dark side of that Terminator line, because the Terminator line is all the way down here.
Yeah, it's abnormal.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's like where the moon is. I can just see the moon. It's like borderline where the moon is. So it's sort of like
Shipping
above
says
the
that could be one of the
surface.
towers.
Maybe. I don't know how to explain a lot of these things.
No,
I just
know.
noticed oddities, and I just try and capture them, file them away, and like research them later.
Right.
Another one here. I just noticed a strange shape
Wow.
in a crater. A lot of people I showed this to think it's something amazing. I'm on the borderline of maybe it's just three rocks, and just light and shadows.
Very possibly.
But it's weird how it's got the shadow, the gap in between the three rocks.
Right. I got one for you.
Not too sure about that one.
Well, there are symbols in ancient Norse mythology that translate directly between what you highlighted and what is off to the right of that in dark relief. I won't get into it, but that's a very interesting
Like a
concept for somebody who studied Norse mythology, for sure.
like it's a rune on the moon or something.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
We got this for you, Gabber.
What the hell? Sorry. What?
That's on the moon too. The original photo is on the left. The one on the right is zoomed in with a different colored filter.
That's the mystery. That's the mystery hut that the Japanese moon rover Yukon 2 took a picture of.
Right.
They called it the mystery hut. Then it took them 6 months later to drive up to it to take a picture of it. And then they took a picture of a rock that I think doesn't look anything like it. I think they took a picture of another rock to throw off as a cover story. Someone from Space Force that claims to work for Space Force, JP, said where that picture is one where the first space ark was found was on the moon. That's supposed to be like a where that moon hut is, like this. You got the moon hut, which is like rectangular shape. That's supposed to be like a long rectangular space ark that's buried. It's buried in the moon, and they went there and explored the space ark with Chinese Space Force and US Space Force, and that's when they said they started to find all these space arks all around the Earth. 5 or 6 of them currently now. There's a big thing about. I just uploaded the video of the space ark story of Chinese Space Force finding a space ark in the.
I would like to watch that. Can we get a link to that?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
This is my Bilibili channel here. I'll drop it. Am I in the live view? Yeah, that's my Bilibili channel, and the video to the Chinese space ark is this. I just hit 6,000 views, and it's only been up for 22 hours, so I can copy that. It's part 1 and part 2, so that's part 1. Part 1 of the Chinese space ark, and I'll get the link. This is part 2. Copy link. This is part 2 of Chinese space ark, and I'll type what my link says so people know it, and my Bilibili link, my channel. So like my Bilibili link, I'm about to hit. You can see here. If I translate it, 1.9 million views, 8,800 subs. So I'm about to hit 2 million views, which is pretty cool over there. I've blown up over there. I upload a lot of my UFO videos. You'll find a lot of my UFO videos on here. Like you just click on this button here, and then like all the videos pop up. I upload a lot of video stories about alien abduction stories I find interesting, or stuff about space arcs, or I upload a lot of interesting stories because they haven't got access to this in China, so I share stuff that I find very interesting. I upload a lot of other UFO sighting videos that I find interesting, Chinese UFO sightings. Sometimes I sit there and analyze it and talk about it and explain it, but I think I'm up to like 200 videos. Yeah, 238 videos there already.
Okay, what I want to do is redirect us back to the moon for a minute or two, because Hnoss and I were talking yesterday about images on the moon of structures that are being smudged out deliberately by NASA before they're released into the public archive. And here are some of those photos.
Yeah, I could smudge that.
This looks like a piece of machinery. They almost left out some stuff. On the left side, there looks like a drill point coming out of it. And on the right side, it looks like a pipe going into the surface of the moon. That's my opinion. And these look like towers. One pointed, one flat-topped. This one here looks like a tower with a building or two in back of it. This one definitely looks like a power plant almost, with a skyrise in front of it. This is all on the moon, deliberately smudged by NASA.
I have photos sort of similar. Let me find it here. There's the... Where would it be? Got to go deep in. I put it here somewhere. Maybe you're at the beginning. I think it's at the beginning. Yeah, here. These up arrows. No, that's the balls of light spinning around. Oh God, where did I put them? I'm sure I had them. I've got them in my folder. Oh God, what have I done?
Well, I do have 4
could've
photos that
sworn.
you took that I would like to show in sequence.
Oh, good.
Oh, here they are. Here they are. Here they are. I found it. I
Oops,
found
sorry. Go ahead.
it. Yeah. I took this like at the beginning when I first started, almost 3 years ago, and we can see where the arrows are. Do you see this glass like sort of tower on the side, transparent?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like, is it just 3 rocks, and now we got light reflecting off those 3 rocks, creating a glass-like tower? But like, where that glass-like tower is, it's like, no, I've lost it again. Yeah, where that glass-like tower is, there's the glass, the 2 sort of glass-like towers there, and then there was like this V-shaped thing here parked in the crater next to it, and then where these glass-like towers are, see how there's nothing over here? Then we go to the next sequence of shots, and where these glass-like towers are, there's got this little thing here shooting off to the side. See this thing? It's like shooting off to the side here. This thing here, but it wasn't in the previous photo. So like, see, it's not there, and then there, all of a sudden, pew, it's like shooting off to the side or landing or something.
Yep.
I don't know if they're glass-like ships, towers. It just sort of looks like it to me. It could be just something different, and we're just perceiving it wrong, pareidolia. But yeah, I thought they were interesting. No idea how to explain it. Anyway, I'll close these ones. I'll close these ones because we shared them. That was that thing, Hnoss, where you said you thought that might be pyrite. That's a bigger view of it.
Right.
You thought this squarey sort of shaped thing that I was taking a picture of, you thought this might be like a pyrite coming out of the lunar crater.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to have a pyrite cube that I carried with me.
That's interesting.
I have it. It's somewhere in the house.
I have to show 3 photos from Gabber.
Yeah.
Here's the first picture. Second one.
Interesting
Third.
pyramid.
Third one. And then here he's playing with the light and bringing it out more.
Yeah, I noticed that was a couple of days ago. I took a photo. I was taking photos of the blue moon, super moon, full moon, blue moon, super moon, and I just noticed that it formed like a triangle shape inside the crater. Maybe it's just light angles and shadows from just rocks.
Right.
No idea.
Very
Hear what you
interesting.
have to say.
This one over here, when we zoom in, there's like a square and a pipe going into like the crater.
Right.
So that's zoomed out, so you can just see from perspective. You can even see from far away. It looks out of place. This square and a pipe going in. Then when we start to zoom in, you can see how we got like a square there.
Wow.
And then where the pipe comes out from is perfectly like right in the middle. It's right in the middle of that square. It's in the center of that square, and this pipeline or tunnel or tubing or some sort goes into this side of the crater or the mountain.
Wow.
There's another zoomed in photo of it. You can see the pipe going all the way in there, and the square where the pipe's perfectly in the middle of that square, like geometrically wise.
No, very perfectly.
Right.
Right in the middle.
I got no idea what that is.
Okay.
Maybe a mobile mining rig, and that's like the crane going in and sucking in minerals and I don't know.
Do you
No
remember? Do you remember when you were telling us earlier about the glass domes, including one that was broken? Here's a
Yep.
picture of one glass dome in a crater. I don't know if that's the broken one or not.
Yeah, people are claiming that they've seen the photos of these glass domes around the crater, and there's another one where there's a glass dome and you can see the glass dome's broken around the crater, which is it's very interesting. I don't know what to say about the glass domes, but like it would be the sand on the moon. If you put it in a zero vacuum, which on the moon, and burn it, it creates metal that's 5 times stronger than steel and see through like glass. So like it would make sense that you would use the rocks and sand that's on the dirt around you on the moon to create a structure around the moon, and a dome would protect the buildings from pressure and stuff.
Right.
So like it sort of makes sense you'd use the resources around the moon to construct with. So there's a theory about that. You can make glass that's 5 times stronger than steel from the sand on the moon.
Almost sounds like transparent aluminum in some
There's-
cases.
Star Trek 4.
There's a photo
Yep.
photo of that square. We can see the pipe in reverse inversion. Again, no idea what that is. Here, I found a square. You can see the square in the crater.
Yeah.
See, like a long rectangle. This is a zoomed in photo of it. So, I have no idea what that is. I just noticed that there was a rectangle sitting inside the crater. It's even the shadow. We look at the shadow of that. Look at the shadow. It forms this. Even the shadow's geometric. See the shadow from it?
I was just about to say that looks like the one you were showing just a little bit ago, with the crater that's further towards the right edge of the moon.
Yeah.
You were saying that triangle shape because it looks more like the Aztec-style pyramid with
It
the one
does
you were
too,
showing
yeah.
earlier, where they have the rectangular
Steps.
block on top of the pyramid.
And the steps.
And when you
steps
look at
come
the
down.
shadow
Yeah.
that this, step pyramid, and when you look at the shadow that this is casting, it's like that as well. But rather than being a 4-sided pyramid, it's a 2-sided pyramid. Right?
So that shadow is massive. That shadow is massive. Look how long that shadow is casting. So that this has to be a tall, very tall structure for that shadow to be cast.
Right, because it's casting a shadow that's almost as long as the one from the entire crater's edge on the side.
Yeah. You look
So
at
that's
the
so
shadow
that-
here. This crater shadow. Look, it's long. It's almost just as long.
That's what I was saying. Is that the height on that is as tall as the crater is itself.
Right. I get you. Interesting.
Mhm.
So that was an interesting photo. This one, I'm not too sure what this one is. It's sort of
Oh,
like
that's interesting.
triangularly shaped. We got sort of like rocks here maybe, but when you're dealing with the moon, atmospherics and humidities, these rocks or these lights or whatever it is could be in a line, but then the atmospherics makes it wavy, which puts them off angle, or it could just be some rocks causing light and shadow to make like a triangle shape. Like, I don't sit here going, it's a triangle, it's a huge battleship. Like, I try and figure out what it could possibly be,
Right.
Right.
Try
I
to
do have a
find
picture for you.
explanations.
What's this?
There's Copernicus crater again.
Yep.
Copernicus crater. Maybe
Almost looks like buildings in the background. I know
looks
it's
like
rocks.
buildings, ancient buildings.
Looks like right here in the front, in the middle, there's steps going up.
Bruce sees all. Bruce sees all. Gets a lot of photos like this with his telescope, and they're all like geometric and placed together and near each other in Bruce's telescope photos. This photo is recent, a couple months ago. I just noticed that this like sort of triangle with a swept back sort of looked out of place to me. When I compare it to the other craters, it's brighter, and it sort of seems to look like it's a little bit like above the surface of the moon.
I have to say, that looks a lot like the craft when it changed into a wedge and flew over our building. That's what it looked like. Almost.
Yeah, like comparing it to the other rocks, the tone of color is brighter. It's not the same tone as like the light reflecting off the other rocks. Right. Some might say this is just a crater, and that's just the edge of the crater. But like we look at the edges of craters there, it's like the lighting, the shadows different. Like the sun with the lights coming in this way. If that was a crater and that was a rock, then that should be like making a shadow here. Like, maybe it's just moon rocks, you know. I don't know. It's a really, really weird shape to be in a triangle swept back sort of a shape. It just.
I think, Gabber, we need to take a little bit of a break from the lunar anomaly discussion because I want to wrap this up and go into a part 2 on another day.
No worries.
So let's go around and make last comments on everything. Everybody got a last comment. Go ahead, Gabber, talk about that.
We have a question from the audience.
Okay.
Let's have the question from the audience.
Second Star Survival wants to know, if aliens are so advanced, then why do they visit us naked? And if you can't laugh, then
not all of them are naked. In fact, some of the reports coming in from abductees is that they're seeing beings with skin-tight tunics. So they're not all naked. And perhaps on where they're coming from, they don't have the same sense of morality as we do and are actually not concerned with nudity as well. What do you think about that, Hnoss? I want to hear your opinion on that.
Teehee. I think that aliens should absolutely be naked if it causes social unrest.
Yes.
Because with all the things humans can be upset about and all the ponderings they have to have over the meaning of what it is to be a person and their sense of identity, if what they're going to focus on is instead the fashion choices of the Celestials when they come down, then hey, they've gotten over the stuff that breaks their psyche. That's fine.
Odessa,
Yes.
what would you like to address as your last comment of the evening?
Gosh, you teased me earlier asking Hnoss about her impressions of the moon. And I thought finally we were going to get somewhere with regard to the formation of the moon. And we did not get there. So my last comment is I can't wait for part 2.
Yes, we are definitely going to address part 2 because I would like to have a second segment with all of you so that we can go deeper into the subject. Mm-hmm. I see that Gabber has thousands of video clips and pictures. We're going to go deeper into it. So if any of you in the chat room and watching online want to come back for part 2, it'll be scheduled in the near future. But I have to say thank you to GabberBeast for coming all the way from Australia to be here this evening. 100%. It's super cool that we got a UFO personality from China. Actually, from Australia.
Would not have been the same panel.
In China. Yeah, in China.
Would not have been the same without you.
I'm the number one Greek. I'm the number one Greek in China for the UFO channel, UFO category. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting more views than the local Chinese boys. They're all jealous of me.
There you go. And I want to thank Hnoss and I want to thank Odessa for participating this evening, all the way from the very hot Texas.
Very hot. 107 today this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to tell you, I'm going to brag. It's 61 here right now. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
awesome.
show off.
But I'm in the northern states, so Minnesota is always cold. I'm in the same area as Sightings on 18 Wheels. We're only about an hour apart.
Right.
So that's why we've been getting together and filming stuff in the sky. And I'm working
thank
on.
you, Gabber.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Gabber.
Thanks.
You're fantastic in all your
Thanks.
photographs.
Thanks, Hnoss. Thanks, Odessa. Thanks, guys, for coming in to help me talk about my moon photos and give me support. I appreciate your comments and I respect your opinions. You said some very, very interesting things. It's a mystery. It's a mystery, and maybe we figured out some things. It's very interesting. Thanks for you guys' support. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely enjoyable.
Hope to do it again soon.
Yeah, we'll be
sure.
doing it again soon.
We'll have to do part 2.
I agree.
So if you could bring down your screen, Gabber, so we can go back to all 4 of us up on screen, that'd be great.
Gotcha.
Okay. To everyone who participated in the chat room and to everybody who participated online, a big thank you goes out to myself and everyone on the panel. Thank you for coming here this evening, spending your time, and watching what we have to say. But it's up to you to make up your own mind as to what you feel is correct, because no one in this business is an expert. We're all learning. So I want to say goodnight from the UFO channel, and we will see you all next Wednesday. Good night, guys.
Absolutely.
Good night. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Al.